So now that my top 10 of the year is out of the way, and it's changed significantly since I posted it, um, I just want to highlight a few other, I guess, musical moments, records, live shows, reissues. I have a bunch right in front of me, so let's get started. In terms of the reissue, now this isn't the one I was most excited about, but from a MoFi standpoint, it certainly was. And that is getting Bruce Springsteen's debut album, Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey, on mobile fidelity. This record looks like they made 7,500. This is number 2,113. This record has an enormous amount of sort of tied to a lot of my life, I guess. My brother and I, my older brother Lane and I, used to listen to this on cassette in both of our cars all the time. Growing up, Does This Bus Stop at 82nd Street, Lost in the Flood, For You. I can remember just driving around and listening to this tape over and over and over. It's not. I don't think it's even in Bruce's top 7 or 8. If you were to ask me, which I guess I'm asking myself, Bruce Springsteen from 1973 when this came out through 1987 when Tunnel of Love was released, I would say every record released during that period is a perfect 5 stars, with the exception of Greetings, which I would probably give 4, because there are some tracks that sort of aren't up to Springsteen standards. But he released The Wild, the Innocent, and He Shoot Shuffle same year as Greetings, and that I believe is a perfect record. And then he obviously went on to release Born to Run, Darkness, The River, Nebraska, Born in the USA, and Tunnel of Love. I think I just named them all. I went through them a little quick. Darkness, but yeah. I believe those are all perfect records. But having this on mobile fidelity, and I read that Wild the Innocent is going to be coming out on mobile fidelity. If so, that would probably be my most sought after MoFi ever. One more mobile fidelity, which when I looked at the back, it looks like it came out in 2022, but I'm pretty sure I bought it this year. And that's Can't Buy a Thrill by Steely Dan, another record very, very tied to my relationship with my brother. We both had that record on cassette. I remember I think I had to get 3 or 4 total cassettes of Can't Buy a Thrill because someone was stealing them, and some I played so much that the tape no longer worked, or it tore or something, I can't remember. But I just remember having multiple copies, or having to buy multiple copies of Can't Buy a Thrill. My favorite Steely Dan record, and I think when I did my top 50, it was probably around 20 or 25. Songs like Brooklyn, Midnight Cruiser, just a tremendous record. And it sounds exceptional on mobile fidelity. Yeah, MoFi. The best show I saw this year was Big Thief. Also a pretty, this show was sort of, I wouldn't say head and shoulders, because I did see a bunch of great acts at Coachella. The ones that stood out there were Boy Genius, Wise Blood, a couple others that I'm forgetting right now. But I saw Big Thief at, I think it's called the Hollywood Observatory. It's the Hollywood something, but it is, observatory is definitely not the right word. It's a graveyard, so not where I expected to see a live show, but apparently they host shows there from time to time. I think they have movie nights there. And I saw Big Thief, I think it was in July. First time ever seeing them. I was fresh on the heels of hearing this song, their single that came out this year, Vampire Empire. And I've talked about this on previous videos. That song really, really hit me due to a short-lived but very meaningful, at least for me, relationship that was only 2 months or so. But that song, lyrically, let's just say it felt appropriate or hit on a lot of the things that I was feeling. So that song really just very powerful and very poignant in terms of the feelings someone can have when a relationship is sort of not working anymore. But now that some months have passed, the song doesn't have that much of an impact on me anymore. Yeah, I'm turning this into a therapy session. And maybe that's because time heals, I don't know. But I still love the song. It's probably my favorite song of the year. And there it is. There's a bunch of other 7 inches. And I Was Born for Loving You is the B-side, which is just, or Born for Loving You. But this is the best thing that came out this year. These 2 songs, I would say. All right. Now, I often talk about, man, I wish these records came out on vinyl. And 2 of those, 2 of probably my top 5 of all the music that I listened to were reissued on vinyl this year. So me starting a record label and putting these out, looks like I missed that chance. First is this Pernice Brothers box set, Overcome by Happiness. This is one of my favorite records of the 90s. It came out in 1998 on Sub Pop. This is the second live show, best live show, was seeing Joe Pernice in San Jose in someone's backyard. It was incredible. He is such a sweet, smart, sort of very observant person. It was a beautiful day. He played for about maybe a little over an hour. Played a lot of songs from the album Richard, which I've grown to love. Probably one of the albums that I've listened to the most this year. The Joe Pernice record, solo record Richard. But this will always remind me of West Virginia, because when this came out in 98, it must have been 98 or 99, I was driving to Cincinnati to see Lane, and my car broke down in West Virginia. And I remember this was playing when it broke down. Can't remember. I remember I stayed in a hotel, and it was a really eerie place. But I love this record, and if you don't know it, it is a beautiful pop, alt country, I guess, record. Joe Pernice is such an amazing talent, and as I have just covered, such an interesting guy. I've met him 2 or 3 times. Just a very down-to-earth, seems like a very good man. So that was the first one, and the second one I played twice last night, and the record's still on the turntables. This is just the cardboard, the Bottle Rockets 24 Hours a Day, which I bought 2 of, and I also found out last night that my cousin Buck, who I talk about a lot in these videos, loves this record. So he's getting this record since I have 2. I shared on Instagram last night that I loved this album cover, and the back shot so much that I tracked down the photographer, and he sent me originals, and I now have this framed. It's in my living room. It's a little wider, but what a beautiful shot. I think he said this was at the Meadowlands in New Jersey, that they were driving through, and I think they had a jukebox in the back of the truck, and the photographer just pulled it out, and I think this dog came out. But this is a fantastic record. The Bottle Rockets first, was it their only major label release? No, I think they had 2 or 3. But this is their release on Atlantic. It looks like it was reissued by Real Gone Music. Top to bottom, great rock and roll record. And I just wanted to Brian Eno, Music for Airports, and just share how much I now listen to ambient music. That's what happens when you get old, get it past midlife. I have explored a ton of Max Richter, Brian Eno, of course. I could go on and on. I went to the Pitchfork Top 50 ambient records, and I added them all in my Apple Music and listened to them regularly. It's just good for relaxation. It's good for when I'm doing chores around the house. Brian Eno, man, he has some incredibly gorgeous records, and I love them. All the ones that I've heard. Huge reissue here. Few records are good enough to get a reissue only 10 years after they came out, but this is one of them. I guess we're a few days from 2014, so it won't be within the last decade. But for now it is, because this came out in 2013, and I would say that I think this is not only my favorite, but the best record of the last 10 years. Jason Isbell's Southeastern, and I love that they updated the photo with what he looks like now. Cover Me Up, Stockholm, Traveling Alone, Elephant, Flying Over Water, Different Eyes, or Different Days, sorry. Different Eyes is a Jay Farrar song, I think. Live Oak, Songs That She Sang in the Shower, New South Wales, Super 8, Yvette, and Relatively Easy. That's a masterpiece. 5 stars. This is the Vinyl Me Please exclusive. Looks like it's number 325. I also have the box set, and I got it on CD. So I'm now, in terms of CDs, maybe I'll share more in the future, records that I love, I've been buying on CD. So I bought a bunch of Dylan records, a couple Stones records. I bought Isbell both Southeastern and his release this year, Weather Vanes. Last night I bought the Purple Mountains CD and one other, the Cat Power Dylan CD, which I'll get to in a second. But here is another Car Colors. So this is Charles Bizel, formerly of the Wrens. He has been talking about putting out a Wrens record for 20 years, and he finally released this EP, which is really good on Absolutely Kosher Records. Sorry, I thought somebody was here. Just a tremendous record, EP. First song, Old Death, is great. I think the full length will be coming out next year, so we're told. This is the reissue. Have I already said there's a reissue of the year? Because if I didn't, this is it. The Replacements Tim, reissued with the Ed Stasium mix, which makes Tim, which I've always thought was a great record, has turned it into a all-time classic. A lot of people had or have issue with how the first version of this, the commercial version that came out in '85, I think, on Sire, how it was mixed and / produced, I guess. It's just, the songs are incredible. I think the best songs Paul Westerberg the best collection of songs he's ever put out. But the mix was too glossy, and this new one is much more stripped down, and it's just sensational. It seemed like for about a month, this is all people were talking about. I saw it everywhere, and then it just disappeared. But I'm sure this is on a lot of lists. Replacements Tim reissue. Only got a couple more here. Got this the other day. The reissue of A.A. Bondi's American Hearts. Love this record. Came out on Fat Possum in 2008. Looking forward to spinning this. And I just mentioned this, the Cat Power Sings Dylan. So this is her renditions of the 1966 Royal Albert Hall concert. Now, I have been stuck on side A and B over and over. I listened to it 3 times last night. So the way this starts, especially the first side, She Belongs to Me, Fourth Time Around, Visions of Johanna, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. Just tremendous. there's obviously the Cat Bauer sort of spin on it, but and then side two, Desolation Road, Just Like a Woman, Mr. Tambourine Man. Unreal. Cat Power is, I believe, performing this on the road. I plan on seeing it in Santa Cruz, I believe, in March. So looking forward to that. And is that it? Yeah, to close it out, back to my childhood. I got this Eric B. and Rakim box set, which I've yet to open. Eric B. and Rakim, the complete collection, 1986 to 1992. Paid in Full and Follow the Leader were two of my favorite albums when I was in high school. I was big into basketball then, so I was really excited to see those are two of the four titles that are in this box set. Just an artist that had an enormous influence on me and opened my eyes to a lot of things. Just absolutely loved them. Still love them. I listen to them on mixes or on playlists all the time. So I look forward to opening this up in the coming days. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that I forgot. I didn't, as I typically do, I just sort of perused, went through alphabetically and tried to pull the stuff that left an impression on me. So certainly not exhaustive, but that'll wrap up my 2023. The mental health videos, I think I'm close to ready to do them. I again, anybody who's been waiting, I am sincerely apologetic about dragging my feet on this. It's just it's as I've said, it's a hard thing to talk about, and some of it has crept up in the last few weeks via some family stuff. So, I was, I don't know if I was diagnosed, but I was seeing therapists as early as age 9, 10 maybe, which wasn't common back then. I saw a school therapist for a little while because I was having trouble sleeping, and then I started to see my own, I didn't pick them, my mom did, therapist, Dr. Schultz, I think was his name. He was in Ridgewood, New Jersey. Went to see him, I think that was his name. Not that anybody cares. And I think I was diagnosed early with some depression, definitely anxiety, and some OCD. And I've been working on all three of those. They've been diagnosed at different points in my life. I've been working on all of them for the majority of my life. Sometimes they come on strong, sometimes they recede for months, sometimes even years. I haven't had a significant bout of depression in a little over 10 years, so I am unbelievably grateful for that. And it is myself having the financial means to pay for therapy and medication when needed, that I I know the average person likely does not have access to. And to me, that is heartbreaking. That is why I spend a lot of my free time working on mental health causes. One, to sort of lessen or the stigma associated with mental health. I think the more people talk about it, the more we're going to help each other and others. I think when athletes and stars like somebody like Dak Prescott and Kevin Love, those are big deals, because these are folks who play have incredibly pressure-packed jobs, and by disclosing their mental health challenges, I suppose you could say, it puts a little bit of a spotlight on their performance. So people like that, I know they're celebrities, but I'm just very grateful that there are folks who are speaking out. So I will share more. And I said I was going to do a 2-part series, one on, I guess, what it was like and what it is like, and then 2 on how I've managed it and how I've gotten better. So those are coming. It looks like I gave a pretty big teaser here. They likely will not be until after the New Year. So happy holidays, happy New Year. Hope you're all well. Thank you. I got a few emails from my last video from people I didn't know previously, and they were very kind and warm, and just, I love talking about this stuff, so feel free to hit me up. I have no idea where you find somebody's email on YouTube, but somebody found me, so it's got to be somewhere. This is really dragged on. It's really dragging on. I will talk to you soon. Take care.